Hey folks, Dr. Starr, Silver Spring Medical Center. Here's another question of the day. We're going to continue along the lines of food label reading. So this is part 2. How do I read a food label? I include another snapshot again, still of a typical nutrition facts label. That is the key. It's worth reminding. Ignore anything that's on the front of the label, meaning anything on the front of whatever you're buying from the store. I mean, obviously you need to know if you're buying tomato sauce, you got to buy tomato sauce, but don't listen to the little advertisements that they put in there. This is low fat, this is 33% less than this. Just don't, they can lie with the advertisements. You have to go to the actual hard facts, just the facts, ma'am. And within that, you have to know what to pay attention to. Because a lot of times people will look at that daily percentage daily value and they'll say, oh, but it's only 8%. Oh, it's only, at this point, I can have a bunch more of these before I get to my 100%. Ignore that. That is not something you want to base it on. You only want to go, you have to understand how many calories are in what you're eating. That is for certain. Okay, so if you see it says 90 calories per serving and you want to multiply that out and it has 8 servings, well, it's 8 times 90. Okay, so you want to know if you eat the entire box, how much is it actually going to give you? But more importantly, like we said last time, it's very important to know the percentages of fat in the foods that you're getting. So if you're getting 1,000 calories, what percentage of should be fat? So out of 1,000 calories, you only want to have about 100 or 200, maybe at most 250 calories out of those 1,000 coming from fat. And if you do the calculation, that's 10% to 25%. Really, ideally, you should try to keep your fat lower than 10 to 20%. Most Americans, just FYI, most average Americans, their diet consumes about 40 to 55% of their calories are coming from fat. So this particular label is kind of spot on, all right? I'm not sure what the food product this is, but 50 calories from fat out of 90 for whatever serving you're eating. Okay, so even if it's 8 servings, it's still the same percentage of fat. So you're getting over 50% of the calories from this particular product coming from fat. That's very, very high. So if you have it as a treat. Have it a small amount. Do not make this a major part of your diet. That's what you want to look at. So from here on out, whether you're starting the program, you're losing a little bit of weight, or you're a year or two after our program and you're just looking to maintain, that's how you do it. You got to keep your fat intake low. You got to keep your sodium intake low. If you eat a low fat and low salt diet, you're not going to get fat and you're not going to retain a tremendous amount of water. The average American probably retains 10 to 12 pounds of fluid retained because of excess sodium. All right. Sodium is something that it's a mineral. We definitely need it, but you'd be pretty hard pressed to find someone who has a sodium deficiency. I know there are cases of people with electrolyte imbalances. That's a little bit different. But from the diet, we get plenty of sodium. Anything processed is high in salt. Anything that comes in a can is high in salt. Anything that is coming out of a box and it has a shelf life has got to have salt in it because it's part of the preserving process. So the average American eats about 4 grams, okay, 4,000 milligrams of sodium per day. A little bit less. I think it's 3,400 is last I heard, 3,500, but that's an average, okay? And most Americans don't eat well, so that means that most Americans are eating higher than that as far as salt. Whole foods, plants, the best label in the world, the best food to eat that has the best label is that doesn't even need a label. Go for the whole foods, potatoes, corn, beans, lentils, fruits, vegetables, salads, greens. All of those things don't need any labels. Why? Because anything that's in there is exactly in the proportions that your body needs and responds really well to. So you don't have to worry about that. That's the greatest part. I have a friend that tells me, well, I eat anything that does not have a label. That's what you want. All right. If you eat whole plant-based foods, they are going to be the healthiest for you. You don't have to become vegetarian. You don't have to become vegan. You just have to incorporate more whole foods into your routine. So if you want to make a commitment, make a small commitment. Every day, have a salad at dinner time before you eat anything else. Try that for a week or two. See how you do. As you include more and more plant-based foods, you will see that it will take the place of all the other bad foods for you, and you're onto the path that way. All right, we're at 5 minutes. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.